Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this corner of the internet, and this is Vault Hunters 1.18. Um, so there's been some things that have happened, which means that this video is going to be more of an update video. So hopefully be short unless I ramble. I'm probably going to ramble. But basically, there's been some bad news, good news, and some semi-neutral news. So let's just start at the top. So the bad news is that the server that I've been playing on, due to circumstances, cannot be continued. Our admin is unable to continue hosting the server, and due to other circumstances, we could not find someone else to basically host the server for us. So that kind of leads us into the semi good news, into the good news. As you can see, because I am still playing on the same Vault Hunters world. But as you can see, if I hit tab, we can see our lovely villagers in the minimap, but you can see that no player lists pop up. So I have, we were provided with a world download, and I have been kind of playing on it just a little bit, just to kind of get the lay of the land, as well as just chilling and trying to figure out what I want to do with this series. But basically, I've decided that I will be continuing the series on a single player world. And that I will be adjusting settings as needed and setting limitations for myself in order to kind of just encompass a single player world a little bit better. So that brings us to more of the neutral news, which is kind of explaining about the certain limitations I have set for myself. So on this world, there were many people who... Once upon a time, there were many people who lived on the server and they all disappeared. No, but basically, as you see, I have my base here and my kind of mega base that I've been trying to work on. That is also a big part of why I'm continuing this, because I have a really good idea, or I have an idea I want to execute, and I do want to see if I can finish this within... I don't know how long the series is going to go. I'm going to at least try to get... I'm going to try to get, like, some of the big mods unlocked, at least, and play around with those. But as you see, I have my base, right? But we have other people who have other bases as well. So for example, we have a base, someone lives over here. I know someone lives over here. Here. There's someone here. There's someone who definitely lives in this area, who lived in that area. Here's one. Here's another one. There's like one over here, something like that. But basically, the general idea is that there are people who have gotten to states of the game and have unlocked mods that are much further along. So for example, we can actually just take a look at one of them. But if we look here, if we see here, vault items, this is someone's base. So this is someone else's base, and this is kind of underground. So if we look at the map, we're over here. So as you can see, they have a lot of items, a lot of things. They took a picture of themselves. Interesting. Or no, okay, that's another server mate. Keep them. But basically, it's like, for example, if we look in here, yeah, look at these things that are technically, like, because it's single player now, I technically have access to and I can use them. Am I going to? Not really, no. And that's the first kind of big limitation, is that I will most likely not be touching any of my server mates or ex-server mates. That makes it sound like we had a bad falling out. It wasn't that. But any of my server mates' stuff. Basically, I will not be touching at least any of the modded items. If I steal a piece of bread, no, well, we're not going to do that either. But that's the general idea. I'm going to be unlocking the mods by myself, and I'm going to be trying to do things kind of as if I didn't have server mates, give or take. So this is where the exception comes in. So, for example, in one of my previous episodes, I used one of my server mates' soul shard juicer thing, where you could juice down items to get soul shards, right? Something like that I will consider kind of fair game to some extent. I think that's the only one that comes to mind, just because I haven't made one for myself. And I don't need a spirit extractor because I am by myself, or at least at this moment. That might change. But for example, like the tool vice, these aren't going to break the more I use it, so it's not, I don't really care about that. But like the soul shard extractor, I'm probably going to be using someone else's. I'm not going to move it to my base. That's a little bit too much, but I will be kind of using that. As well as any vanilla farms that have been created. In terms of, I may not have created them, but someone on the server did, and I will be allowing myself to use them. For example, we have a wither skeleton farm that is fully functional, that is over here, right? And you can see we're using, the design is actually by ENX04, and I will allow myself to use that farm during my like single player, right? And the reason for that is because at least vanilla farms are farms that I can build by myself with my current stage. Like you can build that regardless of whatever mods you have unlocked. And that, I checked, is a fully vanilla farm, and that is what I will be not like necessarily using, but that will be like a farm that I will allow myself to use. Like, I don't know why, maybe to get wither stars for the nether stars for a beacon or something like that, right? So those are farms I would allow myself to use. As you can see, I have a farm. This one I built, so I'm of course going to use this. So this one I built between episodes. It's a witch farm, and that's because when you slay witches, you have the chance to get an instant health pot, and therefore that basically gives me the endless supply of health potions that I may or may not need. As you guys kind of probably noticed, maybe not, when I run vaults, I actually don't use any healing pots. I just use the default heal, which I have to say, probably a good thing, bad thing, I don't know. I'm not super sure, but yeah, that's kind of been kind of like the big few things, right? So any vanilla farms that exist, I will allow myself to use without give or take fear of breaking. One thing is, I do know, like for example, one of my server mates has a lovely like netherwood farm, but this thing is kind of scary and I don't want to break it, so we're probably not going to be touching this. And I might end up just doing the manual harvest, because it's not that it's hard per se, it's that I rather not break something. I think this is one of the fully automatic farms though, so like I won't have to worry too much, but I just really rather not with something like that. But like, I might be able to, like, if I stay here long enough, I'll harvest this wheat field, right? I'll harvest the wheat fields, or like the potato fields or carrot fields that some of my server mates have, right? But basically that's kind of the state of the situation. So I just establishing some boundaries, because it would not be fair for me to take advantage of some of the mods and some of the creations they made without having unlocked the mod and being kind of as low level as I am now. So that's kind of the situation. Most likely, I don't know what's going to happen per se. Like once I unlock those mods, I'm still going to try building my own, and try to fit them in my base. So we're probably not even really going to travel to their bases a lot, in general, and do stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna have a decent amount of, unfortunately, abandoned bases. I would like to see some of their bases. I wish could have been completed before the server ended, but the server really only lasted just a little bit. Didn't last as long as it probably could have for this mod pack, but that's fine. We're going to continue it, and we're going to continue playing through the vaults. I think that's mainly it on terms of this series. I do want to do like a really quick update though, because on the channel overall. And the reason for that is because I have another series that I've been kind of semi updating slash really neglecting at this point, called, which is just basically my single player um, Vanilla World series. And the state with that is that that's still going to be kind of put on hold for a while, as in updates aren't really going to be regular. Not that they were in the first place, but they're not going to be regular. And which is kind of like, I'll still be playing on it, but because I want to try to focus my energy and my limited time on this series, we're probably not going to be seeing a lot of that, of Just Because Minecraft. So hopefully, I don't think anyone's really that upset about it. So yeah, but basically, that series specifically is going to be put on kind of hiatus for a bit. I think I'll definitely play more of it when the update 1.20 comes out, in terms of I'll definitely do like a video showcasing my world and trying to kind of take advantage of the new features and do some stuff. But I'll also probably just be slowly kind of mining away, because I have a big project that requires a lot of grunt work and stuff like that. So yeah. But that's, I think, really it for this video. I think, yeah, it's gonna be kind of a short one because it's mainly just really about updates, about kind of the state of the game, state of this series, and state of the channel for the future. I think there are some things with this game that are coming up, some upcoming updates, which will, as of recording this, I am currently on update 6H, which is the 6th update with the hotfix. And it was announced that there are certain things that are going to be phased out. For example, one big one that I'm a bit worried about, or not worried per se, the one that I kind of am not sure if I should do it or not, is the fact that this vault pickaxe, we are currently, at the moment, you are allowed to craft vault pickaxes. So as you can see, right, you can have, there's the black chromatic pickaxe and the and then we have the black chromatic pickaxe and then the normal vault pickaxe. So the reason why I'm kind of like not certain, so they're going to phase this out, and they're also phasing out the jewels. Luckily, I don't have any of them, so it's not too bad, but they are removing those. And the thing is, removing in terms of you cannot get them anymore. If you do have them, you can still use them. So that's why I am kind of uncertain, because I want to see what they have next. But this vault pickaxe is really nice because it has 400 durability, or 4,000 durability. And the reason why I'm a little bit like, I really want a few of those, is not because of the vaults, but because of the fact that I'm trying to fill this whole thing with deep slate. And the amount of times that I have to come to the surface to repair my pickaxe, or just repair my pickaxe, is getting very, very frustrating. To be fair, though, I collect a lot of deep slate with vein miner, so I actually need to come to the surface in order to drop off said deep slate. So that's kind of the situation where it's nice to have it. But I also do want to see what the new item that they're going to have in place of it, because they're not going to phase out the vault pickaxe per se. Or they're not, that's the wrong term. They're not they're going to probably have something that replaces the functionality of the vault pickaxe. And the reason I'm pretty much suspecting that is, one, because the Discord posts are kind of like, yeah, we're gonna kind of replace it to some extent, and I really want to see what they replace it with, because yeah, like, because one of the helpful things was with the jewels, you can have a higher chance of getting the chipped vault rocks, which is something that I don't have a lot of. I have a lot of chromatic iron because because of the fact that I've been mining deep slate, I've just been coming across pockets every so often. Because yeah. But the vault stone, you need to, not silk touch it, in order to get a, like, chipped vault rock. Or basically mine it without a silk touch pickaxe. But the issue with that is that I don't think it's affected by fortune. So because of that, you use, like, an Iscalium gem to get, like, basically you use one of the jewels to get, like, a socket, or to place it in a socket on the thing, and which will give you a buff that will give you more, like, a higher chance of getting either a chipped vault rock and, like, more chipped vault rock from, like, what do you call it? From the vault stone. So I kind of want to see what the update is first. Test it out in a world, or test it out in my test world and creative, and see if I need to, before I update, just make, like, a bunch of vault pickaxes. And unfortunately I won't be able to make the black chromatic pickaxe, because there's no way I'm getting that many resources in a pinch. And I have enough, and it also depends on, like, what the vault ingots are used for, because if the vault ingots are going to be something that I'm not going to use for a while, I feel kind of justified in just making the vault pickaxe. I also want to see, like, what are the drop rates, because if the drop rates for the ingots gets lower too, then we might not use it. So there's a lot of factors in deciding what to do before the update. I think it's update 7 that I think they're trying to push for this. I'm not sure. Again, a lot of stuff is going to be in alpha, and the streamers will probably definitely see it more faster than I see it, because I play on the public version, right? So, we'll have fun, regardless. I think regardless of what happens, we'll just play the game and see, what do we need to change about the playstyle. If there is really either anything we need to change, or if there's like, resources I need to stock up on before everything, disappears. Like, for example, they did say if you had, I was trying to aim for this, so fun story of, I was watching a streamer and they put immortal on their pickaxe, which you cannot, which you means that you cannot break the pickaxe unless it's in a vault. Meaning that for me, who is doing this giant project, that would be really helpful. Like, with how much deep slate I have to mine, or I am mining out, yeah, that pickaxe would be really helpful to have immortal on, because of how many materials I need for this build. But they are removing it from the kind of notes so far. They are planning on phasing that out, meaning that immortal pickaxes will not be immortal. You cannot use them for that purpose. You have to, basically, it's going to the whole thing of, if your item has durability, and it has to, you have to respect that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I would like, it'd be nice if they had something that replaced it, but I think that is a balance change and will not be quote unquote fixed. It will be just, either replace where like you have a much better unbreaking, so to speak, like for example, like in I think Vault Hunters 1.16, you could have like unbreaking like 4 or something, right? You just add a little bit extra so you don't feel so jaded and it doesn't feel like it's going to take forever, or not take forever. It doesn't feel like, you know, your pickaxe is just dying with every time you use it, right? Because I know I'm basically having that problem a lot. Oh, what am I getting hurt by? Oh, ice. But yeah. So, but I think, yeah, that's kind of a more of a we'll figure this out kind of decision, and mainly have to do with we'll see what the general consensus is about this stuff, because I'm probably not going to update immediately. I will probably wait like a day or two, get people talking on the Reddits, and see what they think, because and I might just do some testing. In the end, I think I'm very, like I said, or I've said this to people, but I'm a very casual player, which means, you know, as long as we're having fun, it'll be fine. So hopefully the next update doesn't screw over casual players too much, but we'll see. So with that, I've just been kind of doing work as I've been talking, but with that, I think I'm actually just going to end the episode off here. Um, it's yeah, shorter episode. I tried to end it earlier. I didn't really do it well, but shorter episode, and yeah, I hope you guys continue to watch. You know, the series has been interesting for me. I've there's been a lot of back end stuff that's been happening, but if you guys made it this far, thank you, honestly. And yeah, with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.